this is the moment for you to plant yams,
But we're also looking at fertilizers.
to plant cassava, yams, cocoyams, gabi, or ube. I think there is good news for you. If you are a farmer and considering to plant cassava, yams, cocoyams, gabi, or ube, I think there is good news for you. There is good news for cassava planters, for cocoyam farmers and yam farmers, especially in sub-Saharan Africa, in parts of Asia and the Caribbeans. Why do I say so?
Many of the ships that are unable to pass through are transporting fertilizers that are needed by farmers across the world to get spring plantings done. But we're also looking at fertilizers not making it in time to the farmers who need it right now to get the food grown in the first place. North American farmers need fertilizer for corn, which is 95% of the grain and feed grown in the U.S. High prices for the fertilizers, if they can be gotten at all, are likely pushing corn farmers to consider other crops. Countries in the Persian Gulf supply half of the world's exports of urea and 30% of ammonia. Here's the price chart for urea, up 25% in the first several days of the war, and today at $600 per ton. That's up over 70% since December, when it was $350 a ton. Besides urea, other crucial fertilizers pass through the Strait of Hormuz. Whether and how much fertilizer is applied in the next month will affect yields and prices later. The red bars show the percentage of fertilizer applied to crops at the beginning of the crop cycle and ongoing. Corn and spring wheat are most affected by the fertilizer supplies that should be coming out of the Gulf. Another major problem for farmers is that many of the fertilizers for the season have already been ordered and paid for, but not yet delivered. Analysts here are recommending that farmers act now to ensure that their orders are in transit. Iran itself makes up 10% of urea exports. Ras Laffan is in Qatar, and it's a major producer of LNG and downstream products like urea. After Iranian attacks on the facility there, they declared force majeure and stopped production of urea. The force majeure declaration means that the company's customers, in this case farmers who bought urea already to plant crops, cannot sue them for breach of contract when the urea price goes up, or the urea cannot get produced at all. So it's a race against time now. If the Hormuz is closed for more than 2 weeks, or Qatar can't get their plants repaired, supply chains for fertilizers will freeze up no matter where they're coming from. And that assessment is already 1 week old.
Like we have just seen from the news, the cost of fertilizer is going higher and higher for this year. And there is no solution yet to the crisis in the Middle East, which therefore means the crops that are mostly consumed around the world, especially wheat, rice, and soybeans, which are produced in some Western countries and part of Asia, there will be less production this year. And therefore, specifically for sub-Saharan African farmers who are mostly involved in subsistence agriculture, if you are hoping to plant cocoyams, yams, plantains, cassava, you should know that this year is a very good year to plant. This year is a very good year to plant. Why? Because these are the crops that do not actually use a lot of fertilizers. But why is it a very good year to plant? These crops, the prices are going to be very high. Why? Again, crops that use a lot of fertilizers such as rice, wheat and corn will suffer a lot of production shortages this year. Therefore, by the end of this year, which will be the harvesting period for root crops such as ube, such as gabi, such as yams, such as cassava, such as cocoyam, such as taro, by the end of this year, the prices are going to go higher. And therefore, farmers that are involved in the cultivation of these root crops or in sweet potatoes as well, and or Irish potatoes, they call it, you are going to experience a jump in earnings this year. So, for those who are located in regions around the world where we have the planting season now, especially in sub-Saharan Africa, such as Cameroon, Guinea, Nigeria, Ghana. These are places where it is almost the planting season. So if you're considering to invest in agriculture, this is the moment for you to plant yams. This is the moment for you to plant cocoyams. This is the moment for you to plant cassava. These root crops are going to see a higher price at the end of this season during the harvesting season because of the jump in fertilizer prices. As we have seen with the analysis, most of the fertilizer in this world comes from the Middle East that produces a lot of nitrogen and ammonia, and there is going to be a lot of disruptions through the year. And therefore, I encourage you, in my own analysis, that if you are considering to plant root crops this year, you should do so, hoping that you will make a little bit of chunks of money. Those are my analysis, and if they are good, please share. Remember, be good and always thank God.